What's going on, guys? It's an Addictions Love moment of silence, as we always start. Um, so today I'm going to do something a little different. I want to thank everybody who's helping me grow here substantially, because I have another channel and I've had it for a year with whatever, don't matter. That has nothing to do with this, but this one's growing 3 times as fast. I'd like to thank all the subscribers, and if you don't, you know, mind, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it. But sometime today I'm going to put on the uploads. I'm going to put some bit about my life and the chaos that it has caused me, and things like that. So that'll be up there sometime today when I get around to recording it. I just got home from work. So yeah, and like I said, once again, I'd like to thank everybody who likes, follows, shares, subscribes. It means a lot to me. That means that somebody's listening, because my thing is we lose too many people, man. I buried another one December 31st. I lost another one. We're going to be burying him in the next week or two. And it just has to stop somewhere. If it has to stop with just one person, that's why I say just one person, not 8 billion. It's something, it's a disease that doesn't care about anyone. It just eats you up and spits you out. And it leaves nothing but broken families, broken people, childrenless parents, whatever else it may be. Even if you're alive, you still could just be a shell of yourself, because I know that towards the end of mine, before I got clean, I was like, I truly was. I didn't care, you know. So maybe I'll just keep it rolling now and tell you about myself. My name is Mike. I used for better part of my whole life. And didn't care what it made me do or who it made me become. Like, I would lie about everything and anything, and the simplest things. Like leave my house and I'd come back months later, like, and expect people to like accept me with open arms, and they'd not care like the shit that I would do. I lied to everyone that ever meant anything to me. I stole from myself, my children, my dignity, my pride, everything went out the window. And I have always held myself to a higher standard. And at that point, the addiction made me not even care about my standards, to the point of, like, it was just terrible. Like, the people that I betrayed were the closest to me, and then when I got my life better, I expected them to still be there with me, and that's not always the case, like, people are only going to take so much of your bullshit. Whether they know what it's like to be in your shoes or not, because there's both sides of being an addict. There's the people who sit there and watch you destroy yourself, and the people who actually sit there and destroy themselves, which is us. But the people who sit there and watch us sometimes don't really understand it to the fullest magnitude of what it's like to be in that body at that present time and moment, when you're feeling like, hopelessness, like there's nothing left, like when you would rather give your life insurance to your children than to watch them watch you sit there and self-destruct. And that's where I ended up. That's the road I ended up. Like, I ended up like everyone else, homeless, sleeping in my car, losing my car, uninsured, unregistered. Like, I've had it all. Like, lost it all. I'm thankful today that I don't worry about that no more. But I still have the tendencies, because Thanksgiving of this year I used for one day because of certain triggers in my life that I thought I was okay with, but I wasn't. So after 4 years, I used for one day. Yeah, and I'm only human, so, and I have to put it on here because I don't want all the messages to be positive and everybody say, oh yeah, it's full of popcorn and bubblegum. No, it's not. It's full of bullshit and agony. You know? Don't let anybody get it twisted. When you get right, like, your life does get better, but it doesn't, because a lot of people know that mess with opiates is it suppresses your feelings. So the biggest thing you're going to have to realize is when all those feelings come back, what do you do with them? And now you have nothing left to mask them. You have nothing to hide them. The world is going to see you as you lay, see you as you stand, see you as you are, tearful-eyed in all. And it's be the hardest thing that you have to do, and especially if you're trying to put yourself back together mentally and physically. To put yourself back together mentally and physically at the same time as being, all the emotions coming back is absolutely horrible. But it's the best feeling ever. Like I had said in one of my other videos before, you have to grasp onto some type of hope or power that is suitable for you, that makes you make it through that minute, that second, that day, and you have to grasp onto it. And I'm not a doctor, so none of this is just my input, but, and I think eventually you get it, because that's what happened to me. I had to grasp onto something that gave me the power to push through at that present moment in my life when I had no hope. Even though I was clean, I still had no hope, because like I had lost everything in my life, and everyone, you know, and only, and not due to any of their behaviors, but due to my catastrophic explosion of, you know, like, list of events in my life that pushed me to them, you know. And then one day, like everyone else, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, it takes more energy to get up in the morning and have to worry about that first and worry about feeding your own kids or something, you know. And we all become there, you know. And I am fortunate that I walked away with my life, because some people don't get it. I've acquired this new theory, like, live every day like it's my last day. So that means get up, hustle, grind, take care of what I gotta take care of, so that way if I wasn't here tomorrow, nobody could have anything negative to say, you know, about how I changed my life. And I was never a believer of any type of higher faith or anything like that, and that was big because I've felt both sides of the board, you know, like, and I said this and I said it again. It's one of my favorite sayings, I think. When you think you can't get any lower, the devil will pull the floor out and he'll drop you a little bit lower than you thought you couldn't go. You know, and to the point of whatever it is your expectations are lower, you will go lower. And unfortunately for a woman, it's worse than a man. It's just a sad reality. But you will go lower. And I've always had this feeling in my mind and my body, like, since I was yay high. Like, you know, I have a super high IQ, I'm super smart. And I've always known, like, the doctors used to tell me I self-medicate because my mind goes so fast and all this other stuff, and I didn't care about all that stuff, you know, but I've always had this feeling like I always wanted to help someone. I didn't want to be a construction worker, I didn't want to be this, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to help just one person, you know what I mean, like, I just want to help one person to even avoid even going through a tenth of the situations or anything that I've gone through in my life or anyone else has gone through in their life. You know, because the first thing you do is you want to acquire a couple things, and all these things don't mean shit. You know, all these things don't mean shit if I don't help one person that's destined to go down the same road that I did, but maybe their destiny is not to wake up, and that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. We lose, what, 60,000 people a year, 11 every minute. 1 every 11 minutes. Excuse me. So what is that, 60,000 people a year? And that's just their rough estimate. I'd be willing to bet it's a lot more than that. That's what they say for the public persona. And it's just tiresome. That's unnecessary people that pass away that we could spread the message to help. You know, if we can help a person before they get into this boat with us, then that's a big accomplishment. You know, because I know some addicts are the smartest people in the world. They could be rocket scientists, they could be presidents, you know, but they just can't get out of their way, or they need that nudge that morning for somebody to say, you know what, you are worth it, I do love you, we do care, you know, like, when you get to that point in your life and you feel like all else has failed, you pray for that 6-person carrier, you know, like, be careful with the words I say here, you know, you pray for that. I know I did. You know what I mean? What kind of person in their sane mind would pray for that stuff? Like, you know, like, I did. Like, I prayed for my own demise because I couldn't walk another mile in my own shoes. I couldn't even walk another step in my own shoes. So I was always still fortunate through 99.9% of my hobby. You know, I was always fortunate. Like, you know, I had somebody I could borrow money from. I had somebody I could stay. Like, you know, like. But what about the people who don't? Like, what about the people who've been on the grind, on the streets, in the tent for years and years and years? You know, their hopelessness is gone. They don't even remember what hope is. That's our job as the people who are fortunate and clean to give hope to them. You know, like, someone who hasn't seen something or had something in a long time, their hope is down here. Like, you know, they don't think hope exists. We got to be the ones who show them that hope does exist. Decent people still do exist. We're not all just junkies in people's eyes, you know, because someone that was once close to me used that word, and I hate it so bad. Like, it really does, you know. And I want to see everybody win. I don't say it just to say it. I want to see everybody win. You know, there's more than enough in this world for everybody. You know, but there's not enough to sit there and watch and down the person on the street or down the person sitting in their car. You know, it's gotta stop somewhere, and it gotta start somewhere for redemption. And my redemption is, I promised somebody that if I ever got clean and got my life in order, I would help someone, and I would never turn my back on who I was. And I don't, you know, and some people that are closest to me don't like that I do that stuff and talk about this stuff, and they like that I keep it in the shadows and just keep it my business. But I can't do that, because I know the power that it has and where it'll bring you and who you will become. You know, I know absolutely what it will do to you, and I know the hostages it leaves behind. You know, like, I've lost 22 people in the last 13 months, somewhere around there, that could have been avoided. So for 24, I've set my goal, it's an addictions love thing, you know, to help one person at a time, you know, to do something with my life, not to just exist, but to do something with my life, to be great with it, you know, because there's too many people out there. Too many people out there that die senselessly, you know, and I could have been one of them. The man upstairs spared my life for what reason am I? And I truly believe it's for this purpose. Like I said, I've always had the feeling like I should have been a counselor or helped someone, you know, and I do believe so. I'm actually, this will be the second time I think I've said it, I'm in the process, I think, of trying to write a book called An Addiction's Love, from the addict's eyes through the heart of an addiction. And I'm thinking about writing it in different volumes of, like, you know, like short stories, something like that. I haven't really wired it out or mapped it out yet. But, so, that's all, you know. I don't want to ramble on, but, yeah. The next one we'll talk about is maybe traumas and what will set you off, you know, because through my whole addiction, I didn't realize the traumas that I was masking, that I was hiding, because the medicine was, you know, hiding them for me. And like I said, back to that other thing I said, when you finally get yourself clean, and you will feel more things than you thought you ever had in your body. It's a good thing and a bad thing, you know, because overwhelmingness could make you backpedal, you know, but you gotta have a strong network, you know. I was always hard against, like, any of them type of establishments and going to them, and I still don't, you know, but I do a lot of reading and the steps and all that stuff, and a lot of people say, well, you can't be fully healed or whatever it is, you know, because even though some people could be clean, you could still have tendencies, like, you still could have the manipulation and all the other stuff in your behaviors and all that other stuff, and sometimes I do, I'm human, sometimes I don't, but we'll save that one for another one, man, because this video is already long enough. And like I said, I'd like to thank everybody who watches, everybody who subscribes, everybody who shares. You know what I mean? Like, it means a lot to me, and it means that there's people out there that have a heart, and there's people out there that do care, and there's people out there that, you know, might be struggling, that watch this, that give them a tenth of inspiration of hope, because at some points in life, this much will save your life. You know, you can't afford to bite that much at once. In the beginning, sometimes this much will save your life, this much will save your life, this much. You know what I'm saying? So, it's an addiction's love. Man, one day at a time. Not 8 million, just one. Thanks.